And we're live on YouTube.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Sunday meditation. My name is Paulo, and I will be guiding your meditation today. Um, First, I would like to talk a little bit about why we meditate and how we meditate. So the motivation or the why or the benefits of it, and then the more technical aspects of like what is meditation and how we do that. Um, so why we meditate? Um, I think traditionally this is subject. This is open for interpretation. It's very subjective, so it's not. I'm not trying to speak any truths of any sort, but we meditate to, in this particular context, which is calm abiding or focusing of the mind in an object for a prolonged period of time. We meditate in order to learn to focus our minds into an object of our choosing for a prolonged period of time. I think we live in a, I think we've always been distracted. You know, the Tibetans say you can't have meat without bones, you can't have mind without thoughts. Our minds always have had thoughts, but I think in the day and age that we live in, due to social media, computers, smartphones, we're continuously bombarded with information. And not only are we bombarded with information, it's been almost weaponized to distract our minds towards dissatisfaction and to uh, push and pull us in the direction that I guess our corporate overlords want us to buy things from. Uh, and so we've lost some of the ability to rule our own minds and our attention. So I think calm abiding is a great tool to train our minds in choosing and having the power over the only thing we have power, which is our own mind and our own reactions, if we have any at all. So we meditate to focus on something, to refocus, to choose what we're focusing, to not be taken away to what the newsman wants to say or what the advertisers want us to look at, but to focus on what we want to focus. And what does that translate into our lives? I think it translates to better quality of life and mind, on a practical level. We're able to focus on the task at hand, whatever that may be. Maybe we're painting, maybe we are uh, gardening. I was talking about gardening earlier. Maybe we're gardening and we can actually be present with the gardening as opposed to thinking about our to-do list. Maybe it's work. Maybe it's as mundane as just my work, and I can actually focus my work at my work and get it done in a timely fashion as opposed to being distracted by all these things. I think at a more personal level, we're able to be there with our loved ones and be present with them and enjoy those moments we have. Life is so impermanent that just being able to give the time of presence to our loved ones is precious. Um, and I think when we interact with somebody, giving them our full attention is a gift, and it's a love language, or at least that's how I relate to it. It's a way of showing your love and care for somebody else is by giving your attention to them. That's your energy, that's your time, and actually being present with them and listening to them. I think the flip side of that is like think about moments in your life when somebody has been present and has held space for you and has been there. It's a very loving, nourishing experience. So why would we not want to give that to others if we can, right? So we train our minds to be able to focus in that way. The what and the how. Um, as I said, we're talking about shamatha here, or calm abiding, or these are esoteric words to some extent. So I like to think just paying attention on an object for a prolonged period of time, and when we lose the object of attention, coming back to it, right? And in that process of losing the attention of the object is not judging, not beating ourselves up, not really. There's no quality of of being bad or good or neutral. Is just it is. You've lost attention. You have a mind. You get distracted. We all do, and that's okay. And we just gently come back to that object. And it's really that training of coming back and back. So in this particular case, we're gonna first use our breath, and which is it's a nice connection to your body. I mean, the traditional Indian perception is that our breath links. It's the subtlest physical form that links us with our mind, right? So we can ride our breath, but it's still physical and it's still within the body. So you have that ability. So it's linking to your body through the breath, and it's linking you through to your mind. It's a really nice thing. And then furthermore, it's always with you. You can always take it with you. It's not some fancy device that you need to meditate with. It's just something that you carry around and connects you to your body. So we're going to use our breath. And so we're just going to be simple inhalation, exhalation, following the breath to wherever, initially when you're accessing it, it's just wherever in your body you can feel it, you tap into that. If it's your belly, if it's your lungs, it's the tip of your nose, it's your throat. It doesn't, you know, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just finding a place where you're easily access the feeling of the breath. Um, you can get more technical, you can move it places, but I think it's just overcomplicating the thing. And then interspersally, I'm going to chant the syllable hung. I'm just going to go hung, and it's just an expansive sound. And I encourage everybody to join in that chanting, and it'll be for a minute or two. Thankfully with the circumstances that we're in our homes, we don't have to be shy about it. We just chant, and it's okay. And it becomes another object of attention that we're paying attention to. But this is a more dynamic one, right? It's a sound and moves. Sometimes it's higher pitch, sometimes it's lower pitch, and it's just paying attention to something more dynamic that is moving. Maybe it's a transition into a more dynamic paying attention. And can I pay attention while I'm speaking or while somebody else is speaking, right? So we're gonna move back and forth, and I'll just guide you through them. I think I have a. What does it do? So we'll get started. So first, it's good to find a comfortable seated position, whether it's on a chair or on a cushion. It's we start with the base like we would with a building. It's like if you're in a chair, both your feet are planted on the ground, and you're kind of building from there. Your legs, if you're cross-legged, you try to have something that your knees are below your waist, and then we move into the waist. I like to move back and forth and find a connection of both my sit bones to my seat, and that this applies to a chair as well. And that's a nice foundation for start to stack your backbones one on top of each other like coins, so that you find an easeful straight. It's not, there's some muscular tension, but it's very minimal, maybe 20%. Should be comfortable. It shouldn't be exhausting. And it's really just your skeletal structure kind of finding its natural place. So shaking around, moving back and forth, side to side allows for some of that. And then as you get to stacking of your neck, there's a tendency to bring your chin up. So tuck your chin a little bit so that the spine is a continuous line with your top of your head. Some people like to think about a string coming up. I like the idea of tucking the chin a little bit. And then when you find a comfortable seated position, it's good to take a couple of deep breaths to your belly. And then just letting it go. I've heard a teacher call this bringing the mind home. So you're bringing your mind to your body. This is our home. Our bodies are our homes. So we breathe and we allow our attention, we allow our breath to bring us home to the here and now within our bodies. And as we arrive in our bodies, we might notice that there's some areas of tension, Maybe it's your hips, maybe it's your shoulders. So invite your in breath into that area and then allow it to maybe open up a little space in that area. Very gently, not fighting the tension. This is not about trying to, oh, I need to relax right now. No, it's about, a curious, can I make some space with my inhalation into that area? And then as you exhale, can I let go a little bit? It's not a, oh, suddenly I'm perfectly relaxed and comfortable in my body. But is it like, can I move the needle a little bit to a little bit more relaxation so that being here and now with ourselves is a little bit more pleasant? Trying to let the breath come in naturally into your body and just feeling it, not fighting it or not forcing it. And exhaling, just as relaxed, just as letting go. Just allowing our attention to ride our breath into our bodies and out of our bodies. We get distracted. It's okay. Just gently bringing our minds back to our breath. Just riding it. There's some intelligence in our body already that knows how to breathe. So we don't really have to tell our bodies what to do when we're just paying attention to what is happening. That controlling mind, that tweaking mind that has things to do, we can leave that for later in the day. We're just watching our bodies, the here and now. It is common and almost expected for our doing minds to want to fight the thoughts that come up and distract us. Chase after them, try to chase them away, or find them into repressing them. That is, believe it or not, just proliferates them. So when they do arise, don't fight them, just observe them. And, like a grandfather watching their kids playing in the yard. Just, they arise, they go back, and they just go away. So just come back to your breath. Don't waste energy and time trying to fight them. Just gently bring your attention to your breath, and it's okay. It's not uncommon for those that are starting to meditate to find that it almost seems that there's too many thoughts happening, or that somehow meditation is making more thoughts arise. It's typically not the case. It's just simply that you're noticing now. You're giving yourself the space that you rarely have if we don't make time for it. To notice what's going on with you. To share some time with yourself, to commune with yourself. So don't be discouraged. It's okay. Just without fighting, without effort. I mean, with some effort, but without too much effort. Just coming back to the breath. And inviting some curiosity into the experience. There's no right or wrong, there's no judgment. Just simply a child curiosity into how you feel. What's the state of your mind? What's the state of your body? And maybe nothing changed, and that's an okay answer as well. As that experience subsides, bring your attention back to our breath. Maybe scanning our bodies for any extra tension that might have crept up. Maybe your back is a little crooked. Maybe you're collapsed a little bit or lost your connection to your sit bones. Just refreshing and taking a big breath of light, awakeness, and then exhaling out the cobwebs and the dullness. And this type of visualization of bringing in awake, exhaling the illness is always accessible to you throughout the practice. So don't wait for me to invite you to do it. You can do it at any point in time that feels appropriate. Same with the body scans and attention. Your shoulder has maybe come up a little bit, and so you inhale some space to it and let it go. And that is part of the intelligence of the breath and the body, is that as you breathe, the breath finds those little pockets of tension and gently smooths out some of the edges. Now, I dissolved into the ether for a second there, back. I apologize. The troubles of modern technology, but we can continue to breathe together. Just, um, difficulties arise, whether it's losing your internet connection or friction at work or in the home, or friction internally when you're meditating. And that's okay. There's no reason to get worked up about it. We can breathe. We can use our breath to smooth out the edges of that difficult circumstance and almost relax into it. And again, inviting a childlike curiosity to the experience, to the sensations in the body and the state of your mind. You know, as everything else, that experience is impermanent, so as it subsides, coming back to our breath, back to our bodies. I believe it's Tibetans that call, sometimes refer to the breath and the mind relationship as the breath being the horse that the rider of the mind rides. So as we expand and slow our breath and slow down our breath and allow it to soothe our bodies and permeate it in a slow rhythmical fashion, so does the rider of our mind smooth out some of the waves of thought. If we wanted to get a little bit more mindful or technical with our breaths, a traditional yogic breathing starts at the belly. And as we breathe into our belly, we feel how the breath expands into our lower back and kind of pushes against it a little. From there, we start to expand our chest, and we try to span it equally from the back and the front until it finally, like a vessel, it tops out on our collarbones. And then we allow slowly and gently for the breath to leave our bodies. Then starting at the root of our belly, expanding through our rib cage like a parasol or a lotus upside down, filling our collarbone, and then letting it pour out of us as we relax a little bit. You find it compelling, you can breathe that way. If not, you can just breathe wherever it feels naturally and comfortable for you. Again, thoughts arise, and those are natural. In the beginning, it said that our thoughts come when we're in the beginning, meaning when we started meditating, started training this focusing of attention in an object. Thoughts come out of a up mountain river, quick and one after. The good news is that as we train a little bit more, they become a mid mountain river, a little bit less speed, maybe some tiny gaps between. And then, as we progress in the path and in the training, we get to be maybe the Mississippi River, where it's slower, it's more stable. And then legend has it that you might become enlightened one day and become the ocean. And realize that your thoughts were mere ripples in the vast ocean of mind, nature, reality, the universe, whatever you want to relate to as. So at least that's encouraging. But again, even as thoughts come up, without fighting them, without judging them, just bring your attention to your breath. Maybe all you can muster is 20% of attention to your breath, and there's still some thoughts that come up and down. That's okay. You're at least being able to start to train your attention and focusing on something. Knowing that we're humans, knowing that we have minds. Just playfully curious how you feel. What are the sensations in the body? How is your mind? Are there more thoughts or less thoughts? Coming back to the breath when we're ready. If you haven't been so far, I invite you to open your eyes while we meditate. The reason being is that the practice of meditation is so that we can engage the world better, so that we can be here and now more present. And maybe in just a symbolic way, closing your eyes might be shutting us also away, withdrawing, while keeping our eyes open is that invitation to being here now, present, engaged in the world. For those of you who are familiar, maybe this is a gesture of Bodhisattva showing up. Just letting your gaze fall wherever, not focusing on anything in particular. You have your eyes open, you find that your mind's a little hyperactive. You can cast down your eyesight maybe a little bit, 45 degrees or a little bit lower. Alternatively, if you're feeling sleepy, you can cast your gaze upwards. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Just bringing some curiosity into it. Come back to that. You're breathing in wakefulness, energy, light. You can exhale dullness, the cobwebs, the sleepiness. This is always accessible to you. I'm just reminding you that you can do that whenever you want. thank you, everybody, for joining today and sharing our breaths together and supporting our practices. I don't believe we have breaks anymore with the online format, but we can dedicate the merit and encourage our fulfillment. I don't know if there we do have some names. So if you want to type in the names for those people who we will be dedicating the merit to, I can read them. So I'll give you a minute or two to do that. Well, it appears that we're all here. So, yeah. By this gift may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings everyone to reach to that very ground. May all beings always have happiness in its causas. May all beings always be free of pain in its causas. For as long as time survives, for as long as time remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pains. With all of you in mind, we light this light of clarity. Imagine a lamp. I don't currently have one. Actually, I do. I can light a candle. Light of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth, born in one enlightened mandala. We dedicate our merit to all sentient beings, but in particular today, we dedicate it to Sylvia, Rolando, Nathaniel, Leah, Emma, Ed, Kantaro, Miwar, Nora, Health, Animals, Hannah and Harvey, victims of oppression, victims of COVID. We can close our practice with a big ah. Maybe we can unmute ourselves and all join together in a ah. And as we say ah, first and foremost, we imagine light coming to our hearts, to ourselves, love to ourselves, then to each other here in our practice, and to anybody in our household, in our city, in our country, in our world, maybe the galaxy, maybe other realms if we can imagine it. But anyway, just expanding the light and love, compassion, joy, equanimity to wherever our imagination might take us. Thank you very much for joining today. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday.
Thank you, Paulo.
Nice to see you. Take care. Emily, maybe do we have any announcements?
Yeah, for those of you who have received the Yeshe Sogil teachings, we have our peer-led Yeshe Sogil practice group today in about an hour. And the Dharma Explorations series continues this Tuesday. And then next Sunday, the 4th of July, we do have our first Sunday teaching with the Lamas at 10:30 a.m., the meditation with our Lamas at 11, and a Dharma conversation, which is a chance to speak with other Dharma members and connect at 12 p.m.
This Tuesday, Emily, is the 29th. Are you sure there's a teaching?
Maybe I'm wrong.
I think the following week would be the 6th.
It's July 6th. July 6th is the next Dharma exploration.
We're all anxious to hear it.
I apologize. Thank you, Charlie, for pointing that out.
All right.
I was going to be there.
Good.
Good.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.